Okay, so today we are going to have a small discussion on trigonometric ratios. Okay, the angles that we have and the trigonometric ratio values that we have to sometimes find out. Now, there are two ways to go about it, but first of all, we will understand what these angles are and then what will be their trigonometric ratio values. Okay, so angles, let us first discuss about angles. The most common thing that you are aware of with regards to angles is that their unit is degrees. Okay, so you usually see angles expressed in degrees. So let's say, for example, if I want to take an example, I'll take some standard angles like 30 degree, then we have 45 degrees, then we have 60 degrees, we also have 0 degrees, and so on and so forth, and then you have 90 degrees. Okay, so I might just add 0 degrees also over here. So what are these values that you see? These are all different angles that have been given to you. Okay, so what is the unit in which these angles have been expressed? These angles have been expressed in degrees. As you can see over here, this is the symbol for degree, and you can also alternatively write it as 30 degrees, and so on and so forth. Now the problem here is, till now things are quite simple, but you tend to get a bit jittery, a bit nervous, let's say, or it gets rather confusing if you have angle which is different from these angles. Okay, so these are like standard angles for which you know the values of the trigonometric ratios of these angles. So let's say, for example, if somebody says, let me just erase this first. Let's say, for example, if we have let's say sine of 30 degree. Okay, so sine 30 from the trigonometric table, you know that it is half. Okay, sine 30 is half. Similarly, you can have sine of 60 degree as root 3 by 2, and then sine 90 as 1. Then you can also take the cosines. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. Then you have cos of 60 as half, and so on and so forth. Now the purpose why I have picked this video is not because of this is something that is already mentioned in most of the mathematics books which have trigonometric tables of standard angles. So these are the standard angles. Why are they called standard angles? Because these are the values of these are usually given in the form of a table. These are the ones popularly used. Okay, but that does not mean that you will not get an angle which is different from these angles, one of these angles. Okay, so let's take that example for instance, and obviously you cannot learn the values of each and every trigonometric ratio, or you cannot learn the trigonometric ratio value of each of the available angles. Okay, so there lies the problem. Let's say, for example, we have 30.5 degrees. Is this not a possibility? Suppose somebody asks you what is the value of sine 30.5 degrees. So is that given in the trigonometric table that you have? I mean that the standard table that you have. You may not have the value in your mind for such angles. Okay, so these are non-standard angles. So that is the reason why the trigonometric tables are used, which are given at the back of the book. These are the ones that you have to look at. As you can see over here, this is natural sine. Similarly, you will have a natural cosine page also, as you can see over here, natural cosine, and so on and so forth. So let us first understand what this 30.5 degrees actually means. So in order to understand this, you must also understand that when you have degree as the unit of an angle, degree is not the only unit of the angle. Okay, let's say, for example, we also have minutes. Okay, while the sign or the symbol for degree is written like this on top of the angle, The minute sign is usually this. Okay. Now, what is the relationship between these two? Let me take a very simple example which you already know. In order to help you understand this, I am taking an example of meter and centimeter. Okay. Or let's say, for example, an even easier example. Let's say I am taking, let's say, minute and second. Okay. When you talk in terms of time, minute. So what do you say? You say that 1 minute is equal to how many seconds? 60 seconds. Okay. So what are these minutes and seconds called as? Minutes and seconds, these are two different units of time. Okay. 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So that obviously gives you an idea that minute is the bigger unit of time in comparison to second. Similarly, when you talk of hour, 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So what is the relationship between hour and minute here? Both are the units of time. One is the greater unit or the larger unit. The other one is the smaller unit. Okay. So similarly, let us come back to the angles. You have degrees and you have minutes. So what is 1 degree equal to in terms of minutes? So it is 60 minutes. Okay. This is the relationship that you must understand, that you must know before we actually go into the decimal part or the non-standard angle consideration. Okay. So please remember that each degree in terms of angles, every single degree angle is equal to 60 minutes. Okay. And this is the symbol for it. Okay. Now, keeping this in mind, let us take that example which I had considered just now. So I had taken up an example of 30.5 degrees. Now what is this? This essentially can be broken down into two parts. One, obviously you can see that I have 30 degrees. Okay, so this part is a whole number in terms of the degree angle. Okay, so this is 30 degrees, so I write 30 degree here, and this 0.5 degree extra, so this is like 0.5 degree. Okay, so this angle which is given to us is basically a combination of this plus this angle. Okay, this is how this angle is made. Okay, now the reason why I split this like this is so that you understand this part clearly, because this is something that you already know. 30 degrees, that's a standard angle. So what is this extra that we have? Now if you remember, just now I had discussed that each degree is equal to 60 minutes. Okay, so how much degree is this? This is 0.5 degree, or this can also be called as half degree. Okay, so if 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes, what is half degree going to be equal to? It is going to be equal to 30 minutes, half of that. Okay, because this is 1 full degree, conversion is 60 minutes. So this is half degree, half of that, so 60, half of that is 30 minutes. Okay, so now let me come back to our question. The question was 30.5 degree. So can I write this angle 30.5 degrees as 30 degrees and 30 minutes? Yes, the answer is yes, I can do that. So essentially 30.5 degrees and 30 degrees 30 minutes are the same things. The only difference is that this angle as such is entirely expressed in degrees, whereas this has been broken down into degrees and minutes. Okay, it is just like let me take an example to show you that 1.5 meters can also be written as 1 meter and how much? 50 centimeters, because this one is 1 meter, and this 0.5 meter makes it 50 centimeter, because we know that each meter is equal to 100 centimeters. So half meter is 50 centimeters. Okay, so based on the same concept, the angle in terms of degrees can be expressed in terms of degrees plus minutes, depending upon how much is the value over here. Okay, so I hope that you have got this idea. Now we are going to go back to the reason why we started making this video. This is to give you a little clarity on how to find out those trigonometric ratio values for these angles. Okay, so let's say, for example, now somebody wants to find out the value of sine 30.5 degree. Okay, so this is nothing but sine 30 degrees and 30 minutes. Okay, so sine of this particular angle, which is a non-standard angle, is the same as sine of this after converting this 0.5 into 30 minutes. Now I'll show you how to actually, now had this been sine 30, you would have known the value. Sine 30 is half. Okay, but do you really know sine 30 degree and 30 minutes, the sine of 30 degree and 30 minutes? Let me write it like this. No, we don't know this. We haven't learned this by heart. So now we are going to make use of this trigonometric table that we have at the back of our books, so that we understand how it is written. So let us first try and understand the way in which we have to read the trigonometric table. Okay, so let us first understand what all things are there. Now I have opened the page, the natural sine page. Okay, so this is obviously for the sine of the different angles. Now let us have a look at the first column. It clearly says x degrees. You can see the symbol of degree over here. So that obviously tells you that all these values over here, these are the angle values in degrees. Okay, so let's say, for example, if somebody wants to have a look at let's say sine 30 degree. Okay, so now this obviously is the sine page, so you don't have to worry about the sine part. These are all sine values. So you have to look at 30 degree. So where is that 30 degree? Now this is the angle column, so you will keep looking down and you will come to this 30 over here, this 30. Okay, so sine of 30, you can see over here, this is 0.5000. So this is obviously till 4 places of decimal. So this naturally means 0.5, which is half, which is something that we already know. Sine of 30 is half. Okay, so even if we did not have this table, we would certainly have been able to give this answer. What is sine 30? Sine 30 is half. But remember, our question is not that. Our question is how much is sine 30.5. So our question is this: sine 30 degree and 30 minutes. This is what we have to find out. Okay, so let me write this down. I just now found out that sine 30 is 0.5000 from the table. Okay, now how will I find out this portion, sine 30 degrees and 30 minutes? So let's look at the minute portion. Now you can have a look here. All the subsequent columns after the first column, these are the subsequent columns. You can see the symbol is of minute. 0 minute, 6 minute, 12 minutes, 18 minutes. So it's going on at a at a difference of 6 each. Okay, so this is obviously the exact degree. No, if this is degrees, this is 0 minutes. So 0 minutes basically means that it's a standard angle. Okay, it's an angle which does not have any decimal part in it. Okay, now what is the value of minute that we have in our question? If you look at the question, we have 30 minutes. So we will come down straight to the 30-minute column. It is this column, you can see 30-minute column, and that is also, if you want to express it in degrees, it is 0.5 degrees. Okay, so this is exactly what I was trying to explain, that sine 30 degree 30 minutes is nothing but your sine of 30.5 degrees. Okay, so that is what we have to see. Now let us come back here. So we have this 30 over here. So in this column you will keep coming down till how long? How much do you have to come down? Till the time you reach this 30 degree row. Okay, so essentially what you have to look at is, you have to look at this 30 degree row. So you go horizontally like this and you come down from the 30-minute column. So 30-minute you are coming down and 30 degree you are going horizontally. So what is it that you arrive at? You arrive at 5075. Okay, you can have a look. This is the 30-minute column. So you come down, okay, this, okay, and this is the 30 degree column. So you have 5075. Now please note that this is not 5075, it always is supposed to have a decimal in front of it. Okay, as you can see that this first column they have mentioned the decimal 0.0.0. In all the other subsequent columns they have not mentioned that, but it is understood that the value is having a decimal sign. So what is our value? Our value is 0.5075. So you will have 0.5075. okay, this is the way in which you will find out the sine of any non-standard angle or any angle which is expressed in terms of degrees and minutes. Now the next big question is that you might have noticed that in your book, in the page that I showed you just now, this page, you must have clearly seen that the minutes are at a difference of 6 each. Okay, so is it a necessity that you will always be asked sine of 30 degree 6 minutes, sine of 30 degree 12 minutes, sine of 30 degree 18 minutes? Can't you be asked sine 30 degree and let's say 32 minutes? Now let's have a look here. Okay, you see, okay, so now you will be able to see it more clearly. This time my question does not say sine 30 degree 30 minutes, it says sine 30 degree 32 minutes. Now 32 minute is not present in the minute column. As you can see, after 30 minute it directly jumps to 36 minutes. Okay, so even if you take this wala column, you'll go wrong. If you take this column, you'll go wrong, because you want exact 32 minutes. Okay, so for that you have something which is known as the difference over here. Okay, so these last 5 columns that you see, they are known as the mean difference. Okay, so how are you going to use this? You see, just below that you can see that add is written over here. So how do you make 32 minutes over here? You see, in order to make 32 minutes, you must select 30-minute column, and along with that you should have a 2-minute mean difference. So 30 minutes plus this 2 minutes makes it 32 minutes. Okay, so essentially what are you going to do? You see, first of all we have to break this sine 30 degree 32 minutes. So let me show you this, how to break this up. This can be broken down into sine of 30 degree 30 minutes. So this will have some value, and along with that you will have that 2-minute difference. Okay, so what is the sine 30 degree 30 minute value? Just now if you saw, I had just now explained that in order to find out sine 30 degree 30 minutes, you will look at 30 degree column. So 30 degree column is this 30 degree row is this row. Okay, and this is that 30 degree 30 minutes column. So you come down and you reach at the intersection here, 0.5075. So 0.5075. Okay, this is the value for sine 30 degree 30 minutes, but we have 32 minutes. So that 2-minute difference you will take from the mean difference column. Okay, so this column you come down, keep coming down till the time you reach that same row. Okay, so the value is 5. Okay, the value is 5. You can see this is the 2-minute column. Had your question been sine 30 degree 33 minutes, then you would have taken this 3 wala column. Okay, so as of now you will take that 2-minute difference column. So the value is coming out to be 5. Okay, so where will you put that 5? You will put that 5 here. Okay, and what will you do with them? You will add them. Okay, so when you add them, essentially it is to be added like this. Okay, so that you don't get confused. 5 and 5, obviously that is 10, 1 carry, so that becomes 8, 0, 5, and then this decimal. Okay, so what is this? This is the value of your sine 30 degree 32 minutes. Okay, so this is essentially how you will be using your trigonometric tables at the back. Now for all different trigonometric ratios, you have like for example, we took up an example of sine, there is cos, there is tan, there is cosec, and so on and so forth. So on every page you will see this mentioned over here. Either it will be add or it will be subtract. Okay, so accordingly you will have to do that. If it is add, you will have to put a plus sign. If it is a subtraction, if it is a minus, you will have a minus sign, and then you will have to subtract. This is how you will get the value. Okay, so the 3 trigonometric ratios, let's say for example sine, the one that we discussed, sine, tan, and secant. For all these there will be addition, whereas for cosine, cotangent, and cosecant, which are actually the reciprocals of these, because cos is the reciprocal, not exactly reciprocal, but in terms of complementary angles, it's the opposite. Okay, so if in sine you are adding, in cosine you will subtract. If in tangent you are adding, then in cotangent you will subtract. If you are adding in secant, then in cosecant you will be subtracting. Okay, so that obviously you will get to know from the book also. Okay, I hope this explains, this clears out the confusion that you might have had about how to find the values of non-standard angles or angles which are expressed in degrees and minutes. Okay, so that's it.